All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to our formal city council meeting for this evening. I'm going to be the chair, but I have a gavel assistant who you just heard from, who's doing a bang-up job, you might say. Whatever, it was pretty good. Okay, so we're happy to have you here, whether you're joining us in person or online. I hope you'll continue to participate in whichever manner you feel most comfortable. Let's go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Before we go through the agenda, I'm going to explain our general comment registration process and remind everyone about the rules of decorum for our meetings. Individuals may register to comment on specific public hearing items until the hearing is closed. For general comments, we will accept signups until 7:30. The general comment section has been changed to 1 hour. If you're here to give general comments, not everyone who signed up may be able to speak. So I'll run through the meeting rules, which are designed to make it so that we can conduct city business and ensure that meetings are safe, orderly, and free from intimidation. We will not be giving multiple warnings about these rules, so please pay attention to them. To keep our reactions from affecting your ability to share your opinion freely, council members refrain from reacting or responding to comments to allow everyone to share their opinions freely. When making your comments, please address the body as a whole and not any one individual elected official. If you have a handout for the council, please do not approach the dais. That's this thing. Please just raise your hand and someone will come and take your handouts from you and pass them out. Council staff are available during and after the meeting to help with any questions or information sharing. We will stop you if you use language that discriminates against a person or group based on their religion, ethnicity, nationality, race, color, descent, gender, sexual orientation, disability, age, or other identity factor, because although the First Amendment may protect this type of speech in certain instances, in this environment, if it makes people feel unsafe, distracts or threatens or incites violence, we may ask you to submit those comments in another form. Whether you agree or disagree with someone's comment, clapping, cheering, shouting, booing, snapping, gesturing, obstructing, or discouraging others from commenting is not allowed. So for those of you who just booed my joke, that's your warning. The full meeting rules are listed at the door, and our staff will post them in the link for the Zoom.
Chair, before we move on, can I have a
Yes.
point of personal privilege?
Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to introduce our guest. This is Autumn Ross. She is an emerging young leader in our community and is taking the chance today to be part of the council and see how municipal governments work. So
Yes, thank you for introducing. I didn't know if you wanted to be introduced, so I just...
I checked. Gen
Okay.
Z is very particular about what's cool. So
Yes.
you might even be Gen Alpha. Okay.
Okay, great. All right, our first item is item A4, which is a joint ceremonial resolution with Mayor Mendenhall recognizing October as Italian American Heritage Month. I'm going to turn the time over to Councilmember Petro, who will read the resolution.
Joint resolution declaring October 2024 Italian American Heritage Month in Salt Lake City. Whereas Salt Lake City is home to a vibrant assembly of diverse individuals from a multitude of backgrounds, including Italian Americans, and whereas Italian American Heritage Month has been celebrated in October throughout the United States, providing an appropriate time to recognize the contributions the Italian Americans have made in our community. And whereas Joseph Taranto, the first documented Italian immigrant to Utah, is acknowledged to have been here as early as 1848 and was followed by waves of other Italian immigrants. And whereas Italian immigrants formed a vital part of the late 19th and early 20th century labor force that contributed directly to the industrial and economic development of Utah and Salt Lake City by providing needed labor in the state's mines and railroads. And whereas Salt Lake City formed a central hub for these immigrants as they established families, homes, and institutions. And whereas the impact of Italian intellectual, cultural, artistic, and governmental impacts have been felt worldwide for centuries and continue to influence our own modern municipal governance. And whereas in Utah, Italian Americans organized and supported each other through charity work and education by forming groups such as the Italian American Civic League, formed on January 18, 1934. This organization is still active today. And whereas Italian Americans have made notable contributions to various fields, including business, music, education, government, cuisine, arts, and sports, enriching the cultural tapestry for our city through their traditions and values and leaving a lasting impact for future generations. And whereas Italian Americans have preserved their unique cultural heritage through festivals, events, and organizations, fostering a sense of unity and pride within the Italian American community and sharing their traditions with all residents of Salt Lake City. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Salt Lake City Council and Mayor of Salt Lake City hereby recognize the month of October as Italian American Heritage Month in our city and encourage all residents to join in celebrating the contributions and culture of Italian Americans. Be it further resolved that the Salt Lake City Council and Mayor of Salt Lake City extend their appreciation to the Italian American community for their enduring contributions to our city and wish them a joyous and meaningful Italian American Heritage Month.
Thank you, Councilmember Petro. I will look for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt a joint resolution declaring October 2024 Italian American Heritage Month in Salt Lake City.
Second.
All right, I have a motion from Councilmember Dugan and a second from Councilmember Lopez Chavez. Is there any discussion of this? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. All right, I would like to welcome Nick Foucault, Honorary Italian Consul, Mike Homer, Italian Consul, Sergio Coppa, Italian American Civic League President, David Spatafor, Italian American Civic League Men's Chapter Chair, and Lauren Spatafor, Italian American Civic League Women's Chapter Chair, with us today to receive the resolution. Thank you all for being here, and if you would like to say any words, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Wait for Lauren. Esteemed members of the City Council, fellow Salt Lake City citizens, I'm Nick Fuoco. From the Italian American Civic League. I'm here with Dave, Lauren, and Dana, all from the Italian American Civic League and Festa Italiana. And I'm lucky enough to also serve as the next honorary Italian consulate here in Utah. It's not official yet, so I have to say that. But today we stand before you with immense gratitude as we celebrate a significant milestone in our community. The recognition of Italian Heritage Month in Salt Lake City. On behalf of the Italian American community and to all those who cherish the rich tapestry of our shared culture, thank you for this thoughtful vote in support of this initiative. The Italian American Civic League is one of Utah's oldest cultural organizations, founded in 1934. Our goal was to provide a way to help Italian immigrants assimilate into Utah while providing means to give back to our community and promote our culture. We are proud that from our founding principles, we have grown to build one of the West's largest Italian festivals right here in Salt Lake City. Festa Italiana SLC, that this council and the Salt Lake City Mayor's Office via its ACE grant was instrumental in creating. We have grown to now bring over 50,000 people to downtown Salt Lake City every September to showcase our culture and the richness of Salt Lake City. I am lucky enough to be a grandchild of Italian immigrants that benefited from this great city and Italian community. My nonna Michelina immigrated here in 1949 from Pedaviano in the Calabria region, a small town I still visit annually. She came after waiting nearly 20 years with her mom and siblings to be with her father, who had come here for work but was separated due to World War II and all the difficulties that followed. As I sit up here, it is not lost on me how far we have come as a people and the great American story that a grandson of a baker and a cook who spoke barely any broken English can now sit in front of Salt Lake City Council. The decision upon the council is not merely a proclamation, it represents an acknowledgement of the countless contributions that Italians and Italian Americans have made to our city and our nation. From the first wave of immigrants who arrived seeking a better life to the vibrant community see we today, our heritage is woven into the very fabric of Salt Lake City. By declaring October as Italian Heritage Month, you honor our traditions, our values, and the rich history that shaped who we are. We encourage all residents to explore the beauty of Italian culture, from our culinary delights, which we are very lucky to have many of here in Salt Lake City, to our art, to our music, and to our traditions. This recognition also serves as a reminder of the importance of diversity in our community. Each culture adds depth and richness to our shared experiences, fostering understanding and unity. Your support in celebrating Italian Heritage Month inspires us all to embrace our differences while recognizing our common humanity and immigrant history. I would like to express my heartfelt condolences, or appreciation, for your commitment to inclusivity and your dedication to celebrating the diverse cultures that make Salt Lake City a vibrant place to live. I would especially like to thank Councilwoman Victoria Petro and Lauren Spatafor, who have worked tirelessly and have been very instrumental in championing our culture and community. Thank you once again for your support and for honoring the vibrant Italian heritage that enriches our beloved Salt Lake City. And lastly, I would like to personally invite all of you to our Festa Italiana next year for our 10th anniversary, which is quite a big accomplishment, and we would love to have you there. So thank you very much. Grazie mille.
All right, thank you. Do you want to get a picture with us?
Yeah.
All right, come on up here.
Michael, come on up too. The moment while we're getting seated. I should have done this at comments.
Yes, did you want to give him the resolution too?
Oh, hang on. I have a resolution for you. But I just wanted to comment. I know I've spoken before about my personal history. Still super proud to be the granddaughter of Luigi Tommaso and William Petro. I could not have had better role models. But last night, as I was celebrating with my friends from the Italian American Civic League, I learned a little bit about the history they experienced specifically here in Salt Lake City. As you know, no immigrant story is like another. And I don't think I had ever comprehended that the true cost of Highway 15 was Little Italy. That is the heart of where it was. There is a house that was relocated, I learned, to 1000 West that was actually picked up wholesale from where I-15 now stands and placed over on 1000 West. But I learned that for my friends, watching the Japantown discussions has been bittersweet because it is a road to hope that we can be more restorative in our practices as a city, but it also caused them to grieve their history and our history that has yet to be preserved. So, going forward, I'm hoping that as this growth trajectory continues, it can be leveraged into telling complete stories, including, Italians did not just stop at Chicago and New York City. Like, they came all the way here. They were some of the first. The reason you have the granite and all the things mined out are because we know how to hang on to the sides of mountains like the stubborn goats of humans that we are, and do the hard work and make things happen. And telling that part of the story is not optional. It's absolutely an incomplete story for Utah to be told without the contributions, and without the notable contributions of Italians that continue, like our executive director, who maintains her position as one of the smartest people I've ever met and guides our city in brilliant ways. So I hope as we continue to grow, continuing to acknowledge their story and include all the others that we haven't been able to tell yet is maintained as a priority.
Thank you. All right. Our next item is A5, which is a joint ceremonial resolution with Mayor Mendenhall declaring September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month in Salt Lake City. I'm going to turn the time over to Councilmember Pui, who will read the resolution.
This is a joint resolution recognizing and honoring Hispanic Heritage Month in Salt Lake City. Whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated nationwide from September 15th to October 15th each year to honor the rich history, culture, and contributions of Hispanics and Latino communities in the United States, and whereas Salt Lake City is home to a vibrant and diverse Hispanic population that contributes to the city's economic, cultural, and social life, and their traditions have enriched our community and deepened the fabric of Salt Lake City's identity, and whereas this month begins on September 15th, marking the anniversary of independence for several Latin American countries, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, followed by Mexico's independence on September 16th and Chile's on September 18th, and whereas Hispanic and Latino individuals have made enduring contributions in the fields of arts, business, education, medicine, science, politics, law, and more, helping to shape Salt Lake City and the nation, and whereas Salt Lake City celebrates the strength and resilience of the Hispanic community, recognizing its significant role in shaping our city's present and future through leadership, entrepreneurship, civic engagement, and public service, and whereas Salt Lake City is committed to fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment to all individuals regarding race, ethnicity, and background, and strives to ensure Salt Lake City remains a place where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, and whereas Hispanic Heritage Month serves as a reminder of the city's ongoing effort to address issues of equality, equity, and opportunity for all its residents, and to uplift the voices and experiences of our Hispanic and Latino residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Salt Lake City Council and Mayor of Salt Lake City proudly recognizes and celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th and October 15th, 2024, and calls upon all residents to join in honoring the many achievements, contributions, and history of Hispanic and Latino communities year-round. Be it further resolved, the Salt Lake City reaffirms our commitment to promoting inclusion and welcome to residents from all, and will continue to work with community partners to address the unique challenges faced by Hispanic and Latino residents, ensuring access to education, housing, healthcare, and economic opportunities.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Lopez Chavez and a second from Councilmember Petro. Any discussion to this?
I would like to.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chair,
Councilmember
thank
Pui.
you. Thank you for the opportunity to read this resolution. Obviously, I'm Hispanic and Latino. If you have not, if you're listening, I mean, you have guessed. It's always an honor to be here representing. I feel like I'm not only representing, District 2 in this position, but representing in many ways the struggles of many in my community. So it is a privilege, and it weighs on me to be here trying to pave the way for other ones too. I also wanted to recognize that we live in a moment right now where in politics it's easy to single out people of color, many of them immigrants, many of them from places, escaping places of war or other challenges, and the political environment right now it has become a bit toxic and a bit dangerous, to be sincere. I would like all of us to remember that we all are here together, fighting for a common goal, which is living together in peace and harmony, and striving for our own families' well-being. I want to make sure that we remember that above all the things. And I also, was privileged last month of being invited by the White House to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, and I attended that event. And it was just incredible to meet so many other Latinos from across the nation, and many of them immigrants, many of them first and second generation, but all together in a sense of love for this country and what it has given us. Also, with a common goal of keep on building this country, but also trying to resolve the issues that and acknowledging those, resolving the issues that Latinos and many others in our community face. Those moments energize me to continue the fight for our communities in general. So I just wanted to say that, so thank you for letting me read this resolution.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
And I want to thank Councilmember Pui specifically for his comments and Councilmember Petro for serving alongside. There has been less than 5 Latinos or people of Hispanic heritage that have served in these seats. I have the honor of being the most recently elected. And it is such a privilege. We talk about the contributions that immigrants make, not just to our country, but specifically here in Salt Lake City. And it ranges from arts, culture, culinary talents to science and technologies and emerging leaders in construction as we see today. There's lots of sacrifices that our Latino immigrants specifically have garnished, and to just echo the comments and sentiments, the political disparagement that occurs daily to our people is unacceptable. And so I'm so proud to serve alongside you, both of you specifically. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for paving the way so I could be here today. And my hope is that in the future cohorts of council people and future leaders can look like the city and reflect the diverse populations that we get to serve every day. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes.
I think there's a passive resolution that today is Victoria Petro Day, because I have never felt more seen in all my identities in my life. We want to do a woman's proclamation next.
Come back in March.
In addition to being the granddaughter of those wonderful men I talked about, I am also the granddaughter of Mercedes Amparo, of Manuela Zuniga, and Modesto Garcia. And they sacrificed things as dear to them as their language, as dear to them as the language that they use to express themselves to their God, in order to give me the chance to be here. And every day, especially in my district and Councilmember Pui's district, I look around, and while I get to stand on the shoulders of those amazing women who taught me how to handle my business in the kitchen, I look at that there is someone here doing that now, pursuing their American dream. And I'm so thankful that we get to be a part of making sure that that American dream is available in Salt Lake City. We have some heavy headwinds that we have to continue to push against. We cannot let the place where someone is born or the language that they pray to their God in to determine what they can do in this country. And in all honesty, it's a real terrible byproduct of scarcity mindset that's even a possibility we would consider it. Because every time we have opened our doors as a country, every time we have had reasonable immigration policy that results in people coming here to pursue their American dream, we have been made better. We've been made better economically, socially, artistically, culturally. And so I am proud to serve along you all as well. And I am proud that this part of me gets to be amplified right now. And I'm proud that I get to represent so many people pursuing their American dream who are doing the things that gave me this American dream. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I think we have a motion and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. This brings us to the public hearing section. Nope,
Angela.
no. Sorry. Yep, thank you. I'd like to welcome Angela Puertas. Hi. Who's the Director of Development with Latinos in Action, who's with us today to receive the resolution. Thank you for being here. And if you'd like to introduce yourself and say a few words, and then we'll take a picture up here as well.
Sure, thank you so much. My name is Angela Puertas, and I am the Director of Development for Latinos in Action. And if you're unfamiliar with our organization, we're a nonprofit organization that started here in Utah 23 years ago. And currently we're in 15 states, but here in Utah, we serve 5,000 youth. And many of those are up here in Salt Lake. And so we're so grateful to be able to be in this area and to help mold leaders for the future. It's a class that they take in high school, and it's an elective class, and some colleges now are giving them college credit for this class. And we're trying to help our Latino students realize that they can do anything that they put their minds to, and we are based on service. They go and tutor to younger children in elementary schools and read to them. Literacy is number one to us, and we're just trying to help give them the confidence to be able to be leaders and be seen and be heroes to others around them. So really grateful to be able to be here representing my organization today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. If you want to join us up here.
I'm going to put Autumn in the picture with us because she's going to be in Latinos in Action next year. Okay.
I love that. Come on over.
Great. You can stand next to me. Go ahead.
Yes, that's great.
Right, thank you. This brings us to the council public hearing section of our agenda, which are specific proposals before the council that require a public hearing, and your comments need to pertain to the hearing topic. If your comments go off topic, we will ask you to stop. This will serve as your only warning. If you would like to comment on these issues, we're accepting comments in person and online on Zoom. You can also sign up to comment until the hearing is closed. If you need to speak to staff, please raise your hand in the room or in Zoom, and staff will assist you. For those of you in Zoom, our staff person, Ellie Tran, can assist you with registration issues or technical questions. Taylor Hill on our staff will be calling names of those who wish to comment based on the order we receive the names. If you're on Zoom, please unmute your mic when Taylor calls your name. Each person will have 2 minutes, and we'll call on each person who has signed up to speak. Just as a reminder, our goal here is to create a safe environment for everybody to be able to participate in the meeting, so please follow our public meeting rules with regard to your remarks. And with that, we will move on to our first public comment, public hearing items, which is B1, an ordinance regarding Salt Lake City International Center maximum fence height zoning text amendment. Is there anybody here to speak to this item in person? Okay, let me see if we've got anyone online. Looks like we have Chris Carrington. Hello?
Chris is just here to speak to general comment.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I move that the council close the public hearing and adopt the ordinance.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Pui and a second from Councilmember Dugan. Is there any discussion to this motion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. That passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. Okay, let's go to, oh, whoops, I forgot to have Nick do the intro.
well.
Well. Thanks. Thanks, Nick. Okay, so let's move on to item B2, a grant application, the eviction protection grant. Before we take public comments on this, I will turn the time over to Sylvia Richards, Council Policy Analyst, to give a short introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The city periodically applies for and receives grants which fund some city programs. Each grant will receive a public hearing. This gives the council and the public an opportunity to learn about the grants. As mentioned, tonight's grant is the Eviction Protection Grant Program. If approved, it would provide landlord-tenant mediation and expansion of post-eviction services for low-income residential tenants at risk of eviction. Again, this is an item for which the city has applied. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sylvia. I don't think I have anyone signed up to speak to this. Oh, yes, I do. Nope, no, I don't.
Chair,
Yes.
I move that the council close the public hearing and refer item B2 to a future consent agenda for action.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Lopez Chavez and a second from Councilmember Pui. Is there any discussion to this motion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. Our final item is item B3, the Mosquito Abatement District Property Tax Report. Before we begin taking comments, I will turn the time over to Austin Kimmel, Council Policy Analyst, to give us a short introduction.
This hearing is regarding the Salt Lake City Mosquito Abatement District Board of Trustees' plan to increase property taxes. If approved, the increase would be reflected in 2025 property tax bills and generate new revenue for the district's 2026 budget. The increase is estimated to generate just over $1,370,000 in revenue for the district, which would increase the average valued residential property by about 83 cents per month, or $9.95 per year. This item does not require a vote by the City Council, as that decision will be made by the district's Board of Trustees. That action, along with a public hearing, is scheduled later this year at the board's December 19th meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Austin. Is there anyone here to comment on this item? I have a Matt Larson. Is Matt online? Okay. Then,
Mr. Chair.
yes, go ahead.
I would like to move that the council close the public hearing and refer the district board of trustees December 19th meeting for the public hearing and action. For a
Second.
public hearing and action.
Thank you, Councilmember Pui, for that motion, and for the second, Councilmember Dugan. Is there any discussion to this?
Mr. Chair, very quickly.
Yes, go ahead.
We received the presentation today from the board, from Mosquito Abatement Board, and it is incredible the work that they're doing to keep the Zika and West Nile virus low and contained. And we invited the board today, just to recap for many that don't know, to inform the community about why they need to do an increase, and they are also inviting the community to a public hearing, which will be on December 19 at the Mosquito Abatement Building. I think it is important for the community to know what the work of the mosquito abatement is, and why it's important to keep us all healthy. But I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, Councilmember Pui. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. This brings us to Section C, potential action items, which we don't have any of those on our agenda tonight. So we'll go to Section D, which is questions to the mayor from the City Council. We have sitting in for the mayor our Chief of Staff and Deputy Chief of Staff. Thanks for being here. Any questions for the mayor? Okay. Thanks again. All right. We are now to the general comments portion of this council meeting. This is a 1-hour time slot for the public to comment on any city business that's not scheduled for a public hearing. Each person will have about 2 minutes to talk. General comment registration closes at 7. Oh, it's already closed. Before we begin taking comments, again, I'll just remind you to please follow the rules that we pointed out earlier. And if you are, we'll announce time at the 2-minute mark. If you're unable to finish your comments in the time given, you can always email your comments to the city council, and those still are part of the public record. So with that, we'll go ahead and take our first public comment. Well, actually, I'm going to wait for this.
Very loud
Yes.
motorcycle.
Yeah, very loud, modified exhaust to pass. Sounds like they're headed right to
Is there
District
like
3.
a noise
which is
ordinance or
great.
something? Who runs this city?
Yeah, I know. If only there was some sort of enforcement tool. Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and take our first public comment. That is, let's see who I've got signed up here. Mona M. Is Mona, oh, it says Mona's online.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Wonderful. Technology is working. Thank you for the time to speak today. We need to discuss some relationship issues your city is intertwined with. A week or so ago, there was a couple of teens that went into a Scientology building to take a tour and talked with the recruiter. They talked about the benefits of joining Scientology. However, after discovering the teens were on ADHD medicine, the recruiter then told them they needed to discontinue their meds if they want to be considered for the church, saying your body is robotic and really it's all in the mind, and the pain is all in your mind. And you should go and just cut off your hands and you will see it's all in your mind. A local advocate went to report this to SLPD. The desk sergeant said it was not a reportable offense. He said, and I quote, "It would be like me telling you to go jump off a cliff." No, it is not the same. This was an adult talking to a teen, a child, an authority figure giving a child an ultimatum for acceptance. There's a big difference. Here's the further dilemma. The sergeant would not take the report, and I need to file that complaint, but you only have either the online option of reporting, which is the wolf guarding the hen house, or to the Police Civilian Review Board within 4 days of that complaint. After many telephone calls to the board, no one seems to know when they are meeting next. Where is the accountability to protect our children? The relationship between Scientology and SLPD to obscure the atrocity is so evident. I'm asking for an investigation into this from the City Council. There isn't a public safety committee, so maybe the Human Rights Commission? I don't know. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you for your comment. Next, we have Andrew Marwick.
Yes, thank you, City Council. Salt Lake City is on the path to make the same mistake that Glendale, Arizona made. By the way, I'm from Glendale, Arizona, Phoenix area. With the recently enacted half-cent sales tax, Salt Lake City taxpayers are taking a substantial risk in the revitalization and renovation of the Delta Center and the Sports and Convention District. Glendale took a substantial risk about 20 years ago and almost lost big. If Osama bin Laden hadn't attacked on September 11th, the Cardinal Stadium would have been built in Tempe. Although Steve Ellman agreed to develop Westgate City Center, Ellman was unable to finance his development for several years. When the Glendale Arena opened, it was surrounded with cotton fields, and it looked like it might stay that way for a long time. Largely because the Cardinals had moved in and the Super Bowl was announced for Glendale in 2008, Ellman was fortunate to obtain financing for the first phase of Westgate City Center, but due to the recession in 2008 was not able to finance phases 2 to 4, which were never built. Glendale was only risking what had been cotton fields and a chicken farm. That's all that was out there at that time. Salt Lake City is risking the Delta Center, Salt Palace, and more in the core of downtown Salt Lake City. Until Smith Entertainment Group can show that its plans are final, the very vague plans have been presented so far, and approved by the city, and go through a plan commission and the city council like everyone else has to, and show the city that their financing is in place, Salt Lake City should not release a dime of the taxpayer money from the sales tax and bond issue. This is putting a big risk on the city, and the city should make sure all the ducks are in order before the city puts any money into this. If this has to be delayed several years, so be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our third commenter is Chenille Hill, or Chenille. Hi.
Hello, friends. We meet again. Here's my sign today. Tell the IRS to revoke Scientology's tax exempt status. I'm sorry.
You need to speak into your microphone. Sorry. Thank you, though.
Tell the IRS to revoke Scientology's tax exempt status so the police will protect our children. They're not protecting our children. What I will play for you right now is the exact terrifying events that those children went through outside of Scientology. I told you I had it on recording, and here's the recording. Can you guys hear it?
He never answered questions. He said he never answered questions clearly that were tough. They said like second time. Yeah, we wanted to go again because I didn't go. Yeah, he said really scared. It was terrifying. He told us, the man in there told us to cut off our hands because it didn't matter if it did. He said, you are not a human being. You are a machine. You could cut off your hand right now and it wouldn't even matter.
He was like all against medications, and he never answered questions clearly.
He said he never answered questions clearly that were tough. They said like, he told me to get off my medication.
Yeah, basically, because medications are really bad, and also
they don't believe in that.
yeah, bipolar is like a myth. It's not real.
Yeah.
Anxiety's a myth. Anything you create in your mind, nothing's real. And anytime we asked about, like, we talked about death a bit, and I asked more in detail, and he's like, no, I don't do more in detail stuff. He backed away from it, and I was gonna ask him about like taking pain meds, but he was like, we don't need to talk about this one no more, because then he moved on to a different subject. So.
How old are you? I'm 15. You're 15.
Time.
Okay. Thank you. If you want to submit the rest of that, you can do that via email. Our next commenter is Chris Carignan. Chris, can you hear me? Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to our next one, Diane Livingston, who's here in person.
Hi there, I'm Diane Livingston. I'm happy to be here with you to introduce myself as a candidate for State School Board District 6. The district is the eastern side of Salt Lake, Mill Creek, Holiday, the northeastern part of Holiday, and Park City. So just to introduce myself, I'm a mother of 6 children, and my husband and I raised our children in Park City. So I am from Park City. We've been there 26 years, and they all graduated from public education there. And I am a former teacher, and I have my master's in history from Utah State, which I actually got last year. So I'm very passionate. Now we have 13 grandchildren, 2 of who are in the Canyons District. So I'm very invested in education and passionate about what needs to happen in our state for education. We have a lot of challenges, as you know. And I am a substitute now. I see them firsthand. I've seen how devoted our teachers are, but I've also seen the variety of students that they're teaching with limited resources. So I'm running, and I'm running unaffiliated. My hope is to run and be a board member that doesn't have strings attached, no party agenda for me. I want to look around, find out what's evidence-based, solid, that's going to work for kids, and do those types of things. I really like that position. I think our board is very divided right now, and to have an unaffiliated member that can bring people together and talk together and find solutions, it just sounds so awesome to me. So I'm going to leave you with one thought. When I decided to run, I came down to Salt Lake and I met with a lot of different leaders, superintendents, principals. What I discovered is there is a wide gap between the local and the state level. I want to do it different. I want to be our children's voice and have a bridge actually be in schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. The last name that I have is Sean Dwello. Sean says is online. Are you there, Sean?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Council. Before I get going, I just want to say I really do appreciate all the work and all of the development that has happened in Salt Lake City. I think it's trending in the right direction. For me, one of the most important items that makes a great city is robust public transit, and good public transit in the sense of that could be buses, streetcars, trains, subways, pedestrian or bike-only pathways, whatever it may be. In this regard, I think as the city takes on both the new Smith Entertainment District as well as the Olympics in 2034, that we should really engage with and really look into seriously the Rio Grande Plan. I think the Rio Grande Plan is a great idea. I think it would do a lot of great things for the city. And I really encourage the board, when they get the chance, or the council, I should say, to invest in this plan, look into it, and really kind of embrace it more than maybe it currently is. I know that's maybe not going to happen anytime soon, but just want to kind of keep it on your radar and show that there is a lot of community support for this plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I'm going to circle back. Chris Kerrigan, give you one more chance if you're there. Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
we do have a Matt Larson who is registered to speak, just not visible on your sheet.
We have a what?
Matt Larson,
Oh, Matt Larson. Okay.
who is online.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Matt. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry I missed it earlier. I was not ready to speak, but yeah, I really appreciate you talking about the mosquito issue. I was on Nextdoor, the app, this morning, and it got a lot of attention, and there was a lot of comments on there. I thought were kind of interesting. I had some of the same questions, and I thought, I could just kind of bring them up here. Lots of people just seem surprised that we're getting, sprayed at all, like from an airplane. It was kind of news to me too, and there seems to be a lot of concerns about, the safety of the insecticides, and people asking, are there notifications of, when the spraying is happening? And I listened earlier to the work session. I didn't hear answers to most of those questions. And so, yeah, I was just kind of hoping to get some answers on that. And yeah, it was just really interesting to see the conversation on the Nextdoor app, because, people are asking about just, I guess there's an area by me where there's sort of like a preserve where water gets backed up in the summer, and they were just talking about, like, are there other ways to get rid of mosquitoes besides spraying to just like keep these areas dry. So yeah, thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
And
That was
Mr.
our
Chair,
final.
sorry,
Yep.
Chris has been troubleshooted and his audio is working now. If
Oh,
you're
okay.
still accepting comments.
Okay. Chris, can you hear us? The troubleshooting has not succeeded. Sounds like. Hello? Okay. Yeah, sorry, Chris. You can submit your comments to us via email, and we'd be happy to accept those. Any other public comments for tonight?
I think Calvin, did you sign up, Calvin?
Okay. All right.
We'll always take your comments.
Yes. Yeah. If you're out of time, you can still submit your comments in writing via email. All right. Thank you to everyone who joined us for our public comment period. We are now at the unfinished business portion of our agenda, which is the first of which is item F1, a resolution on 900 South Housing and Transit Reinvestment Zone interlocal agreement between Salt Lake City Corporation and the Redevelopment Agency of Salt Lake City.
Mr. Chair.
I think Councilmember Pui first. Go ahead.
I move that the council adopt a resolution adopting 900 South Housing Transit Reinvestment Zone interlocal agreement between Salt Lake City Corporation and the Redevelopment Agency of Salt Lake City.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Pui and a second from Councilmember Dugan. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Romano absent. We are at item F2 on our agenda, which is an ordinance on the North Temple Urban Renewal Project Area Boundary Amendment.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt an ordinance amending the boundaries of the North Temple Urban Renewal Project area.
I have a motion from Councilmember Dugan and a second from Councilmember Petro. Any discussion to this item?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Quickly, just as a reminder for our neighbors, this is the boundary changes that we have to do on the RDA district, and the RDA also did the same. We both have to do it. Both of the entities have to do it. And the reason why reducing this RDA project area in North Temple is because of the state's new district in there, the Fair Park. The Fair Park, district that overlaps, and we are mandated by law to reduce our project area for this reason.
Thank you, Councilmember Pui. Any other discussion? All right, we have it moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. Our final item is item F3. This is an ordinance for an economic development loan, or from the Economic Development Loan Fund to Ski Trucks LLC.
I move that the council adopt the ordinance approving a $300,000 loan for Ski Trucks LLC from the Economic Development Loan Fund.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilmember Petro and a second from Councilmember Pui. Is there any discussion to this? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. That brings us to the last portion of our agenda, the consent agenda. I'll look for a motion.
For approval.
I have a motion from Councilmember Pui and a second from Councilmember Dugan. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously with Councilmember Mono absent. And that concludes our city council meeting for tonight. Thank you everyone for attending. Autumn? Yeah, thank you.